the object of Taxi Chronicles is to allow real riders with real stories, share their experience and enhance your life. So sit back and enjoy the journey. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we have an interesting guy. He used to be a teacher, but now he runs a mentoring company. We're just going to hear how he got started, why he got started, what motivates him. So nice to have you here, Leon.
Yep.
Okay, I'm Simon, by the way. So tell us your story, your background story to how you started the company.
Well, born and raised in southeast London, Aylesbury Estate, Camberwell sides to be exact, and I just didn't have the best experience of education. My experience wasn't great. Nothing that anyone done wrong, I just think there was personally a lack of representation. So I think a lot of issues that I had growing up, not that, it wasn't a typical, I didn't have the typical story or dad wasn't around or anything like that. I was born and raised by my dad, but I still feel that you need something more in education, and something was definitely missing from my education.
Okay, that's good. So you said you were a teacher?
Yep, I've been in education now for, I was working in education before Mentivity for a good maybe 16 years, maybe 15, 16 years. So although I look very young, I started kind of mentoring, teaching assistant, worked my way up to pastoral manager, which is like head of year. I've done that for a considerable amount of time and just felt that I wasn't able to affect change the way I wanted. So I had to do something different.
And that difference was?
I run my own company now, so there's three of us that run the company. It's myself, Leon Wright, Sace Holmes Lewis and Tyson Holmes Lewis. They've been my friends from when I was about 15, so there's at least 23 years
good history.
Of friendship there, history between us. Over 60 years of experience within education at all different levels. So I think it's a thought that we had many moons ago, basically just to come together and set up a mentoring organisation to work with young people disenfranchised with the education system, to talk to young people about the realities of the education system, and to also talk to them about the hidden curriculum, to try and decolonise the curriculum as well, because we believe that the representation for young black males especially is just not there. But as the years have gone on, our work's kind of expanded, so we do so much more now than just mentoring young people in schools.
Okay. What would you say you've learned over the years you've been in teaching and doing this that you wish you knew when you had started?
That I wish I knew when I had started? I think one of the major things would be that sometimes in this line of work, we say this all the time, and it's so cliche, but sometimes it's about who you know, not what you know. I think that's important. Because doors open through who you know. Doors open and many things happen, and it's not just for us, this is just a thing for life. Sometimes you have to put yourself in those uncomfortable positions and in those rooms sometimes to be part of the conversation. And I feel sometimes that we don't turn up to the meetings, especially as black people, we don't turn up to the meetings, and therefore we're excluded from certain conversations, which therefore we don't have a say in, and that has a lot of repercussions for us going forward.
Okay. You spoke about discrimination and or not representation. Yeah. How do you anticipate we could solve those issues?
I believe more people of colour getting into more positions of power. I think that's important, and I feel as a community, I feel sometimes that we tend to close our doors to each other once we're successful, and we need to start having an open door policy to each other. We need to learn to maybe pass the baton on as well. And through the mentoring, what we do, I think the biggest thing for us is, yes, mentoring is great, but it's about building those relationships, because when a young person comes to me and says to me, I want a job in finance, it's quite easy for me to go and say, look, do you know what, we have great contacts with Goldman Sachs, here you go, call this number, say that Leon sent you, and this is maybe a route or an option in, speak to this person. If someone else comes and says, I want to get into law, we have Hogan Lovells. Too many times for our young people, they're told to be rappers and singers and actors and musicians, and it's great and it is a good means of money, but that's not for everyone. And I feel that we need to start going into other jobs where we're able to influence the country.
Okay. We haven't even found, what's the name of your...
The company's Mentivity, so it's Mentivity. It's a play on words, it's just mentoring and activity, positive activities, and we just called it Mentivity. Came to one of my business partners whilst in his sleep, and we just kind of ran with it and just thought, yeah, do you know what, this is it, this is the name of our company.
How can people find you social media wise?
We have our website www.mentivity.com. Instagram is very active. So if you go to Mentivity via Instagram, and yeah, there's Twitter. We're on most platforms. Just please go and check us out.
You want to spell the Mentivity?
Yep, that's Mentivity. So that's Mentivity, Mentivity.
Okay, and what's the vision? What do you reckon? What's the vision, and what does the future hold for you?
The future for Mentivity, the short-term future is for us to open our school. We've already secured a few premises now to open up our hub. So we've got our main alternative provision, which is going to be in Camberwell. We've got another building in Camberwell and one in Dulwich Village that we kind of co-share with a few other organisations. And I think that going forward, more so in the future, we're looking to set up hubs all across the country. From our hubs, we're going to kind of teach people the way in which we kind of do our mentoring and our training and the links that we have, and one to be set up for all across London, some of them to be set up all across London, all across Liverpool, Manchester, Birmingham, etc.
Do you find that regardless of the demographics, that let's say the Liverpool way to mentor people from Liverpool is different to way to mentor people from London?
It differs somewhat, but sometimes, like I've just come back from a talk in Liverpool actually against the Liverpool Against Racism Festival, the first of its kind ever, and for us it's just a monumental thing to be a part of, and it's the real legacy kind of our work. But when we went up there, we was quite surprised at how many young people, mainly white people, were kind of clued up with race and racial issues and stuff. But I believe in somewhere like Liverpool, because it was like a major slave trade port for this country, it's taught more in the schools, and a lot of people are kind of aware of their education in that aspect, whereas in London we don't necessarily, it's that whenever we talk about racism or whenever we talk about Black History Month, we kind of just go straight to America and use America as the DNA and the blueprint. But in essence, a lot of the American teachings came from here in the UK.
And also Liverpool has a slave museum.
Yes, it has a slave
museum. And you would
museum.
think London would have one, but you don't.
No.
You don't. Okay. Well, we're coming to the end of our journey. It's been a great interview.
Thank you very much.
And we appreciate you.
More than welcome. Thank you.
We hope that episode enhanced your life. We post an interview every day, as well as vlogging on our social media channels. Don't forget to subscribe to get our latest episode.